Alright, hello and welcome. Baro is back, so let's talk about what he's got. But first, let's address this UI, which has gotten better, as now we actually have the names of the items displayed on screen. But the missing information we're still going to add back is the ducat price and the credit price of all of these items. So, for convenience, there they all are. Going over these items very quickly, the new cosmetic is the Towson Gorgon skin, which is neither here nor there. This has an incredibly good preview in-game if you really need to see what the Towson skin looks like before you buy it. So I trust you can do that. There are a number of Towson skins now, and they are the same style. They are one series of skin, as it were. Besides that, in terms of the gameplay relevant items, Fang Fusillade is absolutely not worth getting. Vermilion Storm, same. Astral Twilight, slightly less so, but same. This mod is incredibly common, and you should not buy it for like 400 ducats. And then we have Temple Royale, which is absolutely worth it because Temple Royale is... It's in argument for being the actual best stance in the entire game. So, I could definitely advise someone to spend the ducats on this if they don't already have it. But I would advise you to check the platinum price of this first, as that might be a bit more of a manageable cost for you, as the price of this tends to fluctuate pretty wildly, and it could be very cheap right now. So, with that being said, moving on, we have the Prisma Gorgon. So the Prisma Gorgon, obviously, if you're going to use the Towson Gorgon skin, this is the Gorgon you're going to want. This is the best Gorgon in the game by a large margin, and is not a bad weapon in general by any means. So, definitely pick this up, very worthwhile. And then outside of that, we have the Unvaulting for Volt Prime, Odonata Prime, and Aklex Prime. They're all good things to get. Volt Prime is especially helpful if you're going to be hunting Eidolons a whole bunch, because Volt is very much wanted for that group at the very least. Odonata Prime, definitely the worst thing there, because who cares about Arcwing? Haha, nobody. And then Aklex Prime is falling from grace because secondaries just keep getting better and better. And the Aklex Prime is so expensive to put together. Like, that is a 7-forma build on a weapon that has a lot of parts to get it, and it's a very high MR requirement, so if you're not into going for that, I actually would not blame you. Regardless, that is the PC items for today, so let's move on to console. First and foremost, we have all of this stuff, which is just a bunch of cosmetics for today. I trust that you can decide on your own whether or not you want those cosmetics, but moving on to the gameplay relevant items, which are all conveniently together, we have Prisma Shade, which for your ducat to MR value, if you're just looking at this way, is absolutely the best, as that represents 9,000 MR for 500 ducats. Besides that, we have the Volcar Wraith, which is a fine sniper rifle. I don't like the coin flipping nature of this thing's crit chance, but some people can deal with that, and this weapon will perform just fine for the people that are into that. Things that are not going to perform just fine is the Prisma Tetra. This weapon is awful. If you somehow have like 400 ducats that you can just throw to the fucking wind and you're at the appropriate MR for this weapon, I guess maybe it's appropriate, but also don't waste your fucking ducats like that. What are you doing? So yeah, probably ignore that if you've got other more important things to purchase. Spoilers, you do. So yeah, that exists as MR. Then we have Primed Reach, which is way better in every conceivable way than the Prisma Tetra. This goes on, I'm going to say, most of the best melee weapons in the entire game, so that's fantastic. Then we have Primed Cryo Rounds. Primed Cryo Rounds is generally going to be a lot of overkill for weapons you would put it on, but it is more damage, so you can consider that for sure. And then Primed Pressure Point, which obviously is an upgrade to all melee weapons in the entire game. So if you have the ducats to spare, definitely pick that up, especially if you can just level this mod right away if you've got the 40k endo just sitting around. And then we have Prime Pistol Ammo Mutation, which is pretty much useless, unless you're like trying to main the Twin Gurkata, then maybe. But even then, it's kind of a big ask to spend 40k endo on this mod in particular. So yeah, that is Baro for today. I am still working on the Baro Buyer's Guide for Tennocon. That should be out this weekend, but I wanted to wait until this Baro video came out. So if there are any very important items that people should pick up, turns out no, there are not, then I would be able to address that. But that is going to do it for today, and I will see you tomorrow.